hear the other interruption coming into our lives, where do we hear God at? Where do we hear that voice saying, I love you? The world gives us lots of messages, doesn't it? It says that your identity, your worth is based in how much money you have, and what your job is, and how famous or popular you are. Lots of messages that the culture gives us. God says, I love you. You are mine. That's the song beneath the words. We hear that in the gospel text when the mourners come and say, why trouble the teacher any longer? Jesus says to Jairus, do not fear, only believe. Do we believe that message when we hear it? Do we believe the voice of love? I'll be honest, oftentimes I don't. There were two examples this week that I can think of from camp that illustrated it. Early on in the week, I was getting to know some of the other pastors who were there. One of them I knew, he was a year behind me at Trinity in the seminary. But the camp pastor had been a pastor for 24 years down in South Indiana, and I'd never met him before. And as we were talking, I found that what I will do oftentimes in those situations is I'll begin by talking about struggles or inadequacies I have in my own life. Things like, for example, I still to this day don't have a consistent schedule for how I get my sermons done. There are still Saturday evenings when I'm struggling to get the sermon figured out, which is a no-no from the seminary. They say, you don't do that, but that's been me in my experience so far. And they commented back and, well, mine's always done by Wednesday, or mine's always done by Thursday, and it felt frustrating. But later, as I was just walking along one of the trails, I heard a voice say, Jerry, why do you have to put yourself down? Voice of love calling us to trust. Each one of you is a beloved child of God. Do you believe it? Another voice of love that came Thursday night from that very camp pastor. So we were talking about the Holy Spirit gathering us as a body of believers through baptism. He had all of the youth come forward, and us pastors took a bowl of water, dipped our finger in it, made the sign of the cross on the forehead, and said the same words that they heard at their baptism. Child of God, you are sealed by the Holy Spirit in baptism and marked with the cross of Christ forever. As he talked about that, he talked about the fact that we are marked with the cross of Christ not only when it's good, not only when we sense God, and a young child in the crowd who was autistic screamed out, forever. Forever. That was the voice of love calling us to trust. So, hear the whole story. Listen to the song beneath the words. Hear the voice of love calling you to trust. You are God's beloved child. Nothing can take that away. Third, rejoice in God's healing and God's forgiveness. Because God's help does come to us. Sometimes maybe in ways we don't expect it. Sometimes in ways other than what we would wish. But God does come to us bringing healing and help. Notice when Jairus' daughter is healed and she gets up, the people respond in amazement. Like the psalmist this morning saying, you have turned my wailing into dancing. You've thrown off my sackcloth clothing and put me in songs of joy. I will praise you, O God, forever. That is our response. To respond in praise and thanksgiving for the good news of what God does to us. So I guess the important question this week is this. Where will God speak to you? Be on the lookout. Because we rejoice with you as God touches your lives.